All right, so we're going to have to get creative with this episode just because there's only the three of us for this. We have Jeremy and Kyle, and that's it. Because, you know, real life shit happens sometimes. So we're going to get creative with the way we're going to do this. So hopefully we can come up with something, a bunch of things that are really cool.
It's going to get weird.
What do you think, Kyle? Are you ready for extra roleplay?
I am on my tippy toes ready to rock. For whatever you have to throw at me.
Yeah, I don't even know. This is we're kind of winging it a little bit, you know, which is okay. I mean, I have a little bit of a plan, but not a lot.
Do we ever not wing it? Well, I guess you don't wing it. The rest of us wing it basically every time.
I mean, I still wing it mostly. Mostly it's winging it. It's making shit up as we go.
A lot of winging a prayer.
Yeah, it's falling gracefully. It's falling with style, I believe is the expression.
Very Buzz Lightyear of you.
Yeah. Failing forward. That's what I like to call it. Failing forward.
We are champions at failing forward.
Whoop, whoop. So I think what we're going to start with, I kind of wanted to do this at some point, and I don't think we had an opportunity to yet. But let's do the tank crew real quick. At least part of the tank crew. That includes Kyle's character. Right. So Kyle's character had been critted, right?
Yep.
If I remember correctly, it was a cracked spine crit.
Yeah, that or gut shot, one of the two. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is he got shot, and I'm fairly certain his was the cracked spine one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to do. This is where we're going to start. I need you, Kyle, to roll me a D8.
6, sir. I got a 6.
That's interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Now roll me another D8.
A 2. A deuce.
Okay.
A 6 and
now
a 2.
Roll me a stamina roll.
He has... Oh, he's got awful stamina. Oh, 1 success.
Okay. All right. This is interesting. Basically, and this is, I didn't really explain to you what was happening.
No.
All right. So the first roll was his empathy roll.
Okay.
Right. And this is what I determined was, so the Soviets came up and they were going to take your guys' shit. Right. And if he had failed the empathy roll, I was going to have him, just take your shit and go. If he rolled a 1, he was going to, shoot him.
That's awesome. Yeah. Put him down.
Right? Now, so the second one was another empathy roll. He was like, okay, I'm going to try to provide medical aid. He failed that. So he didn't succeed. And then you had to do a stamina roll to see if you die yet.
Correct.
You did not die yet. Okay. So that's what's going on with Anderson at the tank crew right now. He's not dead. But they also have taken a bunch of your shit and are, doing something else. Whatever that might be. But I just thought I'd resolve that a little bit for your character since you're here.
You took my M9, my med kit, my pain relieving gel, my knife, and my AKM.
Yeah. So they're definitely stealing your all's shit. So, but it was more of a question of what else do they do? Yeah. I thought that was a good way to resolve that. Especially with people that are incapacitated, Yeah. So we'll have to deal with the butler thing later on. So, and I thought that was more fun to have you guys roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what's going on.
It's better because I was just assuming my character is just dead. So at least we're... So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. There's a chance he's not dead. Yeah. Jeremy.
Sir.
All right. So this is what we see. We see crosshairs panning across the entrance to the bunker. And we see some people come out, some people go in, people coming out, and he's looking through the scope. And we see Emmett and LT come walking out. And then the guy comes out with their stuff, right? We see those crosshairs start to move towards that dude that brought their weapons out to him. And drops. We see Emmett and LT drop to the ground. And all of this is being seen like through that scope. Like that's the viewpoint we have right now. And they crawl off and try to take cover. And what does Valentine do?
Valentine stands up and he stretches his arms and his back, and he's got the rifle in one hand, and he starts looking around the room, and he finds a large desk put up against the wall, and he slides the rifle in behind the desk, and he picks up his pack and walks out of the room.
Fucking love it.
Do you want me to roll to hide that?
Yes.
All right.
Survival.
No, it'll be recon.
Recon. Okay.
And since it's an active thing, this is a pushable roll.
Oh, okay. I got a 2 and an 8, so I'm going to push it.
Okay.
Ah!
You can push it. Because if they get one success, somebody at some point, they find it.
Yeah, I'll push it.
Okay.
That's a 12. So 3 successes.
All right.
What rifle?
I think there was like a piece of the wall too that like comes off, and he like chucks it in behind like some drywall and like pushes it back up, like the whole desk.
It's plasters falling off, and he just like, sticks it down in there. Yeah,
yeah, I love it.
Pushes it back, and he just, as nonchalantly as ever, picks up his pack and walks out the door.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking great. That's awesome.
Whistling, Peter and the Wolf.
Wait, which instrument from Peter and the Wolf?
Which one was the wolf?
I don't know. The only one I can think of is dun 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 dun.
Yeah, not that one, because that's Peter. It's the French. I think it's the French horn. I think it's the French horn part.
Is it?
That part.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. So as he's walking out of the room, he opens the door. I'm assuming he like looks down the hall, kind of checks his surroundings, see if anyone sees him coming out of the room, and walks out. And as the door closes, we see that like on the wall behind where the door was when it was open, we see a map, right? And it's a map of Warsaw. And we would start to like zoom in on that map, and it fades out and turns into like an overhead view of Warsaw at that point. Not just a drawn map, but an actual like, because this is like an old map of Warsaw at this point. It starts to turn into the actual city, and a little placard, if this was a movie, would come up and it would say 1998.
Yeah.
Right. And we start to move in on it. And we're coming in on this rooftop, and the camera would start to tilt from that overhead view down to like a horizontal view, and we would see an American flag flying over top, and we can see crowds of people out front, and there's all this yelling and screaming, and there's you can see like Molotov cocktails getting thrown and like bursting up against the fences and shit like that. And you know, people are chanting something in Polish, and you're not quite sure what it is, but we see Marines posted on top of the embassy building, and we would go past them and into an interior room inside the embassy, and we see Staff Sergeant Dabrowski, and we see a middle-aged man in like his 50s, but he's like in a suit and very clean cut. This isn't Dabrowski, this is somebody else. And we also see Cole, who we haven't seen in a very long time. And we see Lieutenant... which one's Lieutenant, Jeremy? Give me a number 1 through 12.
1 through 12?
Yeah, roll me a d12.
11.
11. Lieutenant Sheets.
Deal.
That is the guy that's in charge of the fucking embassy guard.
Sure, yeah.
Why not? Lieutenant Sheets. By the way, for listeners at home, I had them give me 12 random names to select from, so. Why not Sheets? That's funny. All right, so, and we see Lieutenant, and his name tag says Sheets on it, on his camis. And Cole, as I said before, and you see the other man has like a badge, like a plastic badge on, and you can tell that he's the ambassador to Poland from the U.S. And Cole, you're there and debriefing or briefing them on the situation, the intel that you have of what's going on.
So I've come a very long way, and I understand that, time is important, but what I'm about to say is of the utmost importance. And I'm coming to you because I hear you're a man of action, and that you'll figure out a way to figure this out, and that you're going to take this seriously. This has been a long several months of recon, of intel from the KGB, all the way up. Russia is getting to be a bigger issue. We see these riots out here. They're not just regular people riots. This is a cover-up. Russia's coming. Poland is in extreme danger. It could happen at any time. Just the amount of tension that's happening isn't for nothing. I know you guys have felt it. I've felt it. It's taken a lot, but, we have to act. These embassies, they're going to be target number 1. Poland is going down. Warsaw will be the first target. Russia is a huge problem. We have to act. This is directly from KGB. They have put all their eggs in this basket. They're going to make the first move. We cannot play defense on this.
So you're saying those are staged riots? Those aren't just... I mean, I know they'd already made their way into... and this is the ambassador talking at this point. He's like, I know they've already been into Lithuania and Estonia at this point. And you're saying they're headed this way?
There is a method to this madness. This isn't just people, rioting and wanting small things. This is a complete cover-up while we're looking at riots and what we can do for standard everyday people. This is a plan of action to take down the city, the government. We're talking war here.
The ambassador kind of leans back, and his name is Seaman. We have not named him up to this point. Seaman.
With an I.
Oh yeah, S-I-E-M-E-N? E-N. Yeah. I mean, we had fears that they would do that. I mean, but the U.S. is going to need to aid Poland in some way. I mean, we're, still trying to help them out here. I mean, what's the plan for that?
If we jerk around for authorization and chain of anything, it's going to be too late.
I mean, the only thing here is just the Marines to just guard the embassy. That's their sole job, is to guard the embassy. And you're saying that...
I'm saying, we're dealing with more than, just people and regular citizens with clubs and knives.
Do we have any flight? Do we have any flight options? Any helicopter options? Any air out of here?
I mean, we can reach out and see what we can do, but like I said, at the moment, just got to work on as quick evacuation as possible because the shit's hitting the fan.
Outside, we can hear the noise from the crowds. And Lieutenant Sheets kind of sitting there listening, and he's like, I mean, we could always pull out of here. I mean, the problem with Warsaw is we're close to the border on the east. At least a lot closer than we probably would want to be, and this seems like the place they would go first.
Right now, sir, it doesn't look like we're going anywhere. We gotta wait these people out.
I'm not sure if waiting them out's the best bet.
I mean, unless we start bringing Hueys in, we're not going anywhere.
We need to find a way to do something, because like I said, they're on the offense, and I don't want to just sit back and play defense.
I do think we should try to pull out of this embassy at the very least. This Lieutenant Sheet's still talking. He's like, maybe we should, I don't know, pull out to maybe Krakow, possibly, try to make our way that way.
I don't know how fast the operation's going. I just know that their main goal is to take down Poland, and they're going to start here. But I mean, we need to make sure as many lives as we can save. If we can get a start on this, and we're not just sitting here when it all comes crashing down, and it is going to come crashing down.
Well, I mean, what about was it Iran when they pulled the guys out of the embassy? They made that movie.
I don't want drug out. I don't want drug out on the streets.
Well, no, I know, me either. That's why I'm trying to think, do we have another option? You know, more covert way out of here.
Is there a tunnel system? Some embassies had tunnel systems in these cities. I mean, is there...
You're the CIA guy. If someone knows about a tunnel system out of the embassy, it would probably be Cole. Roll me a D6.
2.
I mean, it's not really so much a tunnel. I mean, there's a sewer access we could get to behind it. I mean, that we might get spotted making our way there, but that's the closest we have to a tunnel out of here. There's not like an official one. By the way, that was a luck roll, is what I did.
There you go.
The way I based it was, and this is a cool thing because I've seen this out there before, and I think they use it in some of the other Free League games. It's like a 1 is a hell no, right? Like a nope. A 2 to 3 is like a no. You know, a 3 or a 4 and 5 is a like yes, and a 6 is like a fuck yeah. So I'm going with a not exactly, but it's a really shitty way out. So
quite literally,
there's a sewer system that we could make our way to. That'd be the only option. But that's like outside the gate, the actual entrance into it. I mean, it's on the back. It's not on the front street side, so most of the crowd's on the front. So potentially that might be an option.
We've got enough units here that we could, you know... It's not a giant operation to move, but we've got to get started.
I mean, we had been kind of bringing the crew, quote-unquote, the actual, like, people here. We'd been slowly getting people out and sending them back home, you know, as this has been building up. But, you know, trying to bring down our, you know, number of potential people. But we do still have staff here, you know, probably about half a dozen to a dozen, plus the Marines. We got 12 of them, about a squad, plus Doc. I mean, that's what we're looking at. It's about 24 people or so. Plus you, Mr. Cole, was it?
Yes. You can call me that. I mean, whatever we've got to do, if it's got to be not covert, we've got to do something, though. But because, like I said, I don't think just sitting here is going to work for us, because it's all coming crashing down.
Staff Sergeant gets on the radio. Shh. Rodriguez, how are we looking out there?
Staff Sergeant, this shit's getting bad. It's, I can see guys with rifles. They've got them slung right now, and some of them with them down, but we definitely have firearms out there. Over.
You keep an eye on them. If they start raising those muzzles, you take them down, okay? If they start firing, you take them down. This is getting out of hand.
Roger that. Yeah, Thomas is keeping an eye on the buildings too across the street. Over.
Roger that. Stay alert.
You guys can still hear that like loud crowd sound. You can hear occasionally like outside the window. You see like a burst of flames as like a Molotov cocktail bursts on the the fence, because the actual embassy building's back a ways from the fence, and but you see the ambassador Seaman standing over there, like looking out the window with like a burst of flames. Don't laugh.
Sorry,
His name's
sorry.
Siemens. It's
Sorry.
not funny.
I'm bad. I'm a
You see
professional.
the ambassador, and I didn't even laugh because I'm an adult. And you see so you see the ambassador Seaman standing over there by the window, and like burst of Molotov cocktail flame, and he's like, I mean, it's getting bad out there.
Sir, you should step away from that window.
All right, I mean, it's bulletproof glass. I figured, but okay, yep, roger that.
Do you guys not have a contingency plan for having to bug out?
I mean, usually the contingency plan would be helicopters, but we haven't been able to get anything in this way because the Soviets have been circling the airspace.
Yeah, again, they're gunning for us. We're going to have to outsmart them, maneuver them, and again, my recommendation is we take the offensive and figure this out, and we don't just wait for the other shoe to drop.
I mean, what do you mean by the offensive?
Means when they start breaching and they come in, they're coming with hornets and they're gunning, and there's nothing else we can do other than run the other direction because they have more forces than we have.
Lieutenant kind of leans back. He's like, well, I mean, even if we get out of the embassy, we got to get out of Warsaw.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, we'd have to get out of the city somehow. Do you have contacts in Warsaw?
I do. I have
Friendly contacts?
friendly contacts. Again, most of my contacts are, I would place them as moderately trustworthy. But again, we're all going to be rats in this same cage at some point in time, so I think we're all on the same side. When Russia just starts taking over, we're going to have to rely on them, and they know they can trust my information, so I think I can get us some allies, but again, we've got targets on our back.
So the lieutenant looks over and he's kind of thinking about it. He sighs. He says, Staff Sergeant, I don't think we can pull everyone out at once. Because if we pull everybody out, it's going to be obvious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll split the squad. Half of us will take the ambassador and the civilians down. And the other half will stay and man the embassy. And they'll pull out as needed. They'll hold on as long as they can. We still have the radios for now.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we're going to do.
Yes, sir.
Staff Sergeant, you're going to take Carter, Collins, Kraus, and Wilder, Snack, and Griffin. No. Take Doc. You're going to take Doc and Griffin.
Roger that, sir.
And you guys take the rest of the staff that's here, and we'll get them out, and the rest of us will stick behind, and we'll set up a rendezvous point. You got a good spot, Mr. Cole?
Yeah, I think I've got a place we could start. I think it'll be safe if we could just get to it and not be followed. I think there's a pathway to exit this whole city.
Yeah.
Tell your people that this isn't a captain goes down with the ship situation. So, wow.
Well, the captain's the ambassador.
Yeah.
He's coming with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need them to hold the line, but at the end of the day, the embassy's not important. All this is going down.
Well, the plan is to pull out, but to make it look like we haven't yet.
Yeah.
To buy y'all time to get the ambassador out.
That's smart.
Out of character. 100% out of character. I just want to make sure we're clear here. We're pulling out Seaman.
Siemens. No. Siemens. Yes, you're pulling out semen. You're going to nanny all over.
Okay.
Warsaw. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
All over Warsaw's
Yep.
tunnels.
You got to get. You got to nanny the semen out. Yeah.
Into the sewers. We got to put
Operation
pull out.
Operation Onanery.
So we got. So we gotta pull out and put the semen in the sewer. Got it.
And then tuck it away somewhere secret for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And try not to be spotted while doing so.
Yeah. Because if you are, God will be mad. I love how this became a biblical joke. That's funny. Also, an infinite jest one, all at the same time.
Remember, three lefts make a right. We're doing it.
And like a really obscure biblical joke. Oh, man. Yes, that's the plan.
All right, so we've got some extra caution tape. We can mark the trail along the way, so that way the rest of you can find your way.
Well, I mean, if Cole can just give us like a, fucking street corner. So I'm sure you would have like an address for the safe house.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. But or caution tape. I mean, that would work too if you guys run into shit
In the sewers.
To step up from leaving breadcrumbs.
in the sewers. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna pull out and get semen out of the embassy. And
Kyle's face.
all right, so Staff Sergeant, once you get everybody out, we have a rendezvous point from Mr. Cole, and get the staff out of the embassy. I want Doc to go with you just in case any of the staff or the ambassador gets injured.
Roger that, sir.
And the rest of us will hold the line for now until I think we're gonna have to wait till nightfall at the very least, because it's like setting sun, like we're kind of in like that twilight of the headed towards sundown, but it's like it's right about there. It's starting to get dark out, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to wait until nighttime to do this. The back of the embassy, definitely on the back, that's going to be the easiest way out, because the crowd's way more up here on the front than they are on the back side. And all right, so are we good? Everybody know the plan?
Yes, sir. Carter, Collins, Kraus, Wilder, Snack, Doc. Meet me in conference room 1.
Roger that. Over.
And it's like, Staff Sergeant, get everybody into civvies. Preferably dark civvies.
Civvy, sir?
Yes, Staff Sergeant. Take your camis with you too, because they'll be useful, but I recommend taking civvies.
Roger that, sir.
Because at the very least, later on you're going to need to be
A little more covert.
Yeah. I mean, maybe pack civvies. Either pack civvies and change after you get out of the sewer, or just wear civvies until you need camis. But I would recommend this is a covert operation. I'm sure you're used to that kind of thing from your time in recon.
Yes, sir. I've only been here, 6 months? And it seems like I never left recon at this point.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we got you here. Mr. Cole, thank you very much. And if you would, keep an eye on them. You're going with them.
Absolutely. We tag along right with everybody, and I think we can get one step ahead of this. It's going to be an interesting next couple months.
All of a sudden, you hear ka, and then ka 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 ka. You start hearing gunshots, and over the radio, we hear,
We got a shooter! You have a shooter on the roof!
Looks like it's begun.
"Go, Staff Sergeant, get him out. Go. You don't have time for civvies. Get him, grab his shit,
Ambassador,
get the
come
fuck
with
out." The ambassador starts to go, and you start seeing the other staff, civilians that are headed out, and everyone starts headed towards that back, the back exit of the embassy, to try to make their way out of the fence and to the sewer. Jeremy,
Sir.
roll me a recon roll.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Staff Sergeant's good at stuff, but he's not for being from recon. His recon was not the thing that he did well. It was okay. It's all right. Not great. 1 success.
Okay. All right, so you get to the back, and you look around, and you do see people like walk down the street and like away, but it doesn't seem like anyone's noticing you. And you can still hear like ka 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 brr brr ka ka ka. You can see Molotov cocktail burst out front, but like the Marines are posted up on top, and you can hear gunfire and see gunfire coming from the crowd, and like
Watch your targets! Watch your targets!
and you can hear Lieutenant Sheets on the radio.
Check your targets! Check your targets!
Carter, Wilder, secure that hatch and stand by. The civilians are coming across right after you.
Roger that, Staff Sergeant. Starts like headed towards the sewer hatch, and he sneaks out. He's looking around, like pulls it up. It's like go, and like waves you all through. And you start seeing the staff from the embassy, the civilians going across, and you see the ambassador going across. And I'm assuming Staff Sergeant pulls up the rear on it.
Yeah, he'll be in not the last, but he'll be pretty close.
Yeah. So we see Cole and him going across, and there's a couple more Marines that are still behind them. And it's actually one more Marine behind him, and Carter holding the thing up, so everyone's going down in the sewer. And Carter's like, Staff, go.
Dabrowski runs across. And, all right, as soon as we're down, you know the drill.
Where's that, Staff Sergeant? And he's like motioning to Cole. He's like, go, sir, come here.
Coming.
Cole goes running across. Gets shot from the tree line, because that's common for Cole.
Critical.
Ow!
Dairy Queen.
Right.
Yeah, so Cole, you get over to the sewer entrance.
I think we got out as many people as we could.
What direction we headed?
Heading west.
Heading west.
Collins,
Yes, Staff Sergeant.
mark that with tape, the direction we're going, with that caution tape, all right?
Aye, Staff Sergeant. Oh, aye, Staff Sergeant.
Please.
They mean different things.
Marines don't know that.
What's the difference between I and aye, Jeremy? You don't know that?
Yes.
Well, there's yes, and yes, I understand and I will comply. That's what aye means. It's anyway. Dun dun dun.
We ain't got time for aye.
Aye, Staff Sergeant. And he starts pulling out the caution tape. And Collins is ushering you all down and starts to crawl down the hatch and lower it onto himself. And that's the last thing. And we go back up to the top of the embassy, and we can see the lieutenant. He's like, come on, on the right-hand side, right-hand flank. And he's like kind of directing everybody to where he's seeing people starting trying to climb over top the fence. And we cut away. What'd you think of that, Jeremy?
It's awesome and sad all at the same time.
Yeah,
Because
right?
I got a good idea what's going to happen to the fire team that's left at the embassy. Not great. It's probably
No.
not going to be great.
No. Fire team and a half.
Yeah. And a half.
And a half.
It's cool to play with Cole again for a little bit.
That's what I thought. I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring Cole back in.
Mm-hmm. Very neat.
All right, so we cut away. And we see Farmer, right? And he's headed...
Did we ever name him? Did
Yes.
he ever get a name?
Yeah. I know, but we always call him Farmer.
He is Leonard Jablonski.
Jablonski. Yeah, so we see Farmer headed north out of Krakow. So we see Jablonski. He had headed back to his village just to kind of, see what was left, or the little community he was in.
Yeah, if anything's left, or anybody he recognizes is still around. If anything's left of his home.
Yeah, so we see him walking towards there, and he's outside of his house at this point. Like, you can see the house off in the distance. Like, what's left of it after it's been burned down. You can just see, like, what's left of the frame and of the house, and, the little bits of the walls that are still up. And there's bodies around, and the trees around in the grass have been scorched. And it's fucking quiet. You can see the bodies of the people that were in the house, still in the house.
God, I do not understand why all this has happened. We just trying to live peaceful life, but everything's so senseless. Homes destroyed, friends, family. There's no one left. So I'm on the precipice of death myself. Where now? What now? There's nothing here to rebuild.
So Jablonski looks over, and in the background we can kind of see, as he's like looking at everything, we see a group of people walking like down the road. And one of them's a priest, and he says, hello, in Polish. What happened here, my son?
Hello, Father. Well, this was an attempt to sterilize an entire community. The thought might be there may be a sickness, so without question, my whole town was wiped out.
Ours didn't fare much better. It was marauders, though, or part Soviets, I'm not sure. What's your name, my son?
My name is Leonard.
Father Roberts. These are some of the other people from my village, except for that one. That one's not from our village. And we see a woman step out, and it's Anna. Her and some of her people, we met up with them, and they've been traveling with us to head to Krakow. We have seen some examples of people being sick on the countryside, and I'm assuming you're not sick, since you weren't here when they came and did this?
I had a bout of illness, but everything's fine. I've recently been to Krakow. Do you have a way inside of Krakow?
I don't know. We came here, we'd heard that this was kind of the place to go, that this was like a last vestige of, civilization. A free city, if you will. Independent from all of this.
A lot of travelers are stationed outside in refugee camps. Tensions are high with the thought of sickness and the inability to find out identification or who's on what side. They're not just letting anybody into the city. But if you can make it into the city, there's resources, people, I hear. Again, I turned around because I was with a group, but that group abandoned me a bit when I fell ill.
That's unfortunate. Is there ways in, or?
There are ways in.
Is it worth going in?
If you can find a person who can get you in, you can get in. You could try to sneak your way in. A lot of the outside is landmines and explosives. there is a process to get in through the gates. I'm unaware of exactly how it works. I'm not sure if, Father, you have connections inside or anything, but...
I mean, I have connections with the church, but that's about it. Anna, do you have any ideas?
I'm not sure if any of the people I know would still be there. The units have all been scattered, and the command structure is, it's all over the place. But it has to be at least a little bit better. If there is something there, we can at least try.
Anything better is better than this. There's nothing left here for me. There's nothing left here for anybody. Just dead and burned and the remnants of a life that was.
We have seen much of this ourselves. What is your name?
Leonard.
Leonard, I am Anna Kaminska.
Pleasure to meet you.
It is nice to meet you. You should travel with us. If you are not staying here, it's safer to travel in numbers. You should come with us.
I would love. I will absolutely come with you. I don't know what help I can be. I'm just a humble farmer, but if I can be of assistance, I'll gladly. I mean, I can leave you back to Krakow. I was just there, but it was a bit of a dead end for me, unfortunately.
Perhaps you were with the wrong people who abandoned you.
Looks that way.
In the background, we see a truck with psalms on it that's been blasted to shit and blown up, but the metal remnants of it are still there.
Nice.
Because we swapped trucks with it, but yeah.
Continue. Sorry. I mean, it's blasted to shit. It is undrivable.
Krakow is still about a day's walk from here.
Yeah, about a day. Less than a day. It wouldn't even take that long. It would take half a day, probably like a shift and a half with a straight walk there.
Would there be time in the day? I don't know.
Not in the daytime so much, because we're in evening, like headed into evening.
We may want to make camp for the evening. If not here, there's a small alcove, probably a quarter of the way in if we want to get a little farther. If not, this is our best bet. This is a well-traveled road, so you never know who's going to be coming back and forth. And it's been my experience that anybody that you'd be running into more than likely would have impure motives at the moment.
I agree with you, Mr. Jablonski. I think if you could show us to this alcove, that would be most helpful, and we can get some of the children out of the way.
Absolutely.
So while you're talking, you see Father Roberts looking kind of like at the buildings that have been blown up, and he's looking over at the bodies, and he's like, I would like to bury these people. If you wouldn't mind helping us, Mr. Jablonski?
It's fine. There's a lot. There's a few more bodies than you realize. There's more over on the other side as well. In some of the bodies, there's not a whole lot left.
That's fair, but I mean, whatever we can do, I'd at least like to bury them.
Bring them some dignity and respect.
Just because the world's gone to hell doesn't mean their souls need to.
We'll have to make them shallow graves, Father. I agree with you, but we are running out of time for the day, and if Mr. Jablonski is right, then this is a busy road, and whoever has done this may come back.
I mean, judging by looking at it, this wasn't recent. I mean, it was days ago, at the very least. So, if they've come back, they probably already have, and have left. But either way.
We should be quick about our work.
Fair enough, Anna.
I'd offer a shovel, but it was on my back porch, and as you can see, not a whole lot there left, so let's see what we can do.
There's some scrap metal there we can use to make shovels. And they start grabbing pieces off of the truck off of Stanisław's truck to make makeshift shovels.
Ow.
And they begin digging holes, and we can see some of the refugees that are with Father Roberts, and we see Jablonski, and we see Anna, and we recognize that some of the refugees that are with him are from the village originally, and some of them are from the cabin, like from way back when Anna first came around, and we realize that they're the ones that were at Yuri's castle when whatever happened there happened. And you can see them starting to pull bodies and dig graves. It definitely looks like some people are missing. Like, we don't see Old Scar, and we don't see Jacob. But, you know, it's kind of a mixed match of those two groups of people. And they start pulling the bodies out, and they're grabbing, like I said, the scrap metal off of this blown-up truck, kind of using it as shovels to dig these graves for the village. And we cut away. And we see Jacob. And he is walking along. The last time we saw him was when he was outside of a village that had also been burned. Or was being burnt. And by himself and walking along. And roll me a recon roll, Jacob.
Oh, this is going to be real good. This is going to be real good. Nope. That's a flat nope. I got a 3 and a 3.
Okay. So Jacob's just whistling as he's walking through the woods at night.
Dude, like, what was that sound, man? Like, wait. Is that, dude, is that a nightingale? Dude, wait, wasn't there a thing about, like, nightingales? Like, if you hear them and then, like, they took call and it's like a bad luck thing, you know? Was it nightingales, man? Crows. That's what it was. Crows, the bad luck thing, man. That's it.
And we hear a voice from the woods ahead of Jacob. And we hear a man say, "Jacob, is that you?"
Like, who's that, man? Who are you? I'm Jacob. Am I the right Jacob?
It's Oscar.
Oscar, dude, like, holy shit, how the fuck did you get out of the castle, man?
Well, I did not get out very well. And he's like holding his arm. And you can see that it's like busted up and it's like swollen. And it definitely looks like it had been broken. He's like, I did not fare too well, but I'm okay. As well as can be expected, I guess.
Dude, hold on, man. Like, I'm pretty good at, like, medicine and stuff, man. Like, just hold on, let me, like, first aid your arm, man.
All right, but...
This is a flat D10. That's it.
Better than what he's got.
I got a 9.
Yeah, you realize that it had been broken, so you splint it and try to, set it and make sure it's not, misaligned.
Dude, like, your shit's fucked up. I gotta get, like, stick and make it, like, sticky to, like, like, put the sticks together,
I'm sorry, like, real quick, in my head, it's Justin Long from fucking Idiocracy.
Dude, that is exactly where my brain went. When I was like, your shit's fucked up. That's it. So, like, we're going to take this stick, man, right? And we're going to, like, stick it to this side of your arm. We're going to take this other stick and, like, stick it to the other side of your arm. And it'll be, like, sticking your arm into a stick, And, like, dude, it'll heal right up, I promise, man.
Oh, thank you very much, Jacob. Thank you.
And all this was in fucking Polish, man. Because, like...
Your Polish has gotten much better.
Yeah, man. Melina was teaching me, man. But then, like, she took off. And she said to meet her in Krakow, man.
Yes, everything got kind of chaotic when when it was getting hit, the castle.
She like snuck out, man. It was crazy. And I wasn't quite ready, you know, and it was busy, and there was like, you know, like Stevens and like blah, 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 blah.
How are you not further along? I would have expected from when everything, with how I've been moving, that you would be further.
Dude, like, here's the thing. So, like... like, I'm trying not to laugh, but even this fucking character cracks me up so fucking much.
I would have expected a young, healthy, strapping young buck like you would be closer to crack off by now, at least further.
So here's the thing, man. Like, when I was a kid, right, you know, they'd be like, the North Star doesn't move, right? And it's like the brightest star in the sky, you know? So, like, I've just been following, like, the brightest star, you know, because it's in the north, and I got to go away from the brightest star. But, you know, like, sometimes the moon and, like, the clouds, you know, man, like, they'll get in the way sometimes. And... God damn. But then, like, you just got to, like, find that brightest star and walk away from it, because that's the North Star, man. Fucking Christ. Like, it's a goddamn cartoon.
He's just walking
He learned his survival skills from cartoons. It's fucking
If anything's brighter, he goes in that direction.
Shit. Oh my god.